In a statement Tuesday, Republican House Speaker Paul Ryan criticized Donald Trump for attacking a judge of Mexican heritage presiding over a lawsuit involving Trump University.
I disavow these comments. I regret those comments that he made. I don't think claiming a person can't do their job because of their race is sort of like the textbook definition of a racist comment. I think that should be absolutely disavowed. It's absolutely unacceptable.
Ryan wasn't the only Republican to distance himself in the party from Donald Trump. Senator Mark Kirk of Illinois became the first GOP leader to unendorse Trump on Tuesday. He'd endorsed him back in March, but reversed course after Trump's comments against Judge Gonzalo Curiel.
Just too racist and bigoted for the party of Lincoln for me.
In addition, longtime Republican political consultant Mike Murphy hinted at the fact that GOP leadership is, at this point, basically ready to concede the presidency to Clinton and instead move on to focus on the 2020 presidential election cycle.
Mike,
yeah, I think
is this state salvageable with a good Republican leader?
I think the party is salvageable from Trump, but salvaging it is going to be heavily contingent on how we handle Trump. And if we kind of look the other way and let him take his racist show to Broadway with our brand, we're going to pay a huge, long price. If we condemn him for what he doesn't understand, we got a bum nominee. We might have to outlast one term of Hillary Clinton. That's the ugly reality.
Trump hasn't yet responded to Ryan's comments, but Trump did put out a statement on Tuesday afternoon, saying his words were misconstrued. I do not feel that one's heritage makes them incapable of being impartial, the statement continued, but based on the rulings that I've received in the Trump University civil case, I feel justified in questioning whether I'm receiving a fair trial.
They don't have anywhere to steer votes to. They're stuck with Trump. They're just trying to keep their hands clean of his racism and his nativism, which is a sensibility that they have helped to cultivate within the mainstream of the party.
Max Blumenthal, a journalist and author who wrote a book in 2009 predicting the collapse of the Republican Party, says that this is the only possible outcome of a party that has pumped the airwaves full of distraction news, as well as failing to adapt itself to the changing demographics of the country.
And what you have are a base of voters in the Republican Party who've been told by this very establishment, including Mitch McConnell, that, for example, Benghazi was going to be prosecuted, that Hillary Clinton was going to go to jail, that Barack Obama's birth certificate would be revealed to be a fraud. All of these conspiracy theories were ginned up by the by the wing of the party that's backing away from Trump. And so the Republican base finally just said to hell with all these politicians, to hell with these figures, and they've completely cast their lot with Trump. So it almost doesn't matter what Mitch McConnell says. He has very little sway among actual Republican voters.
As far as House Speaker Paul Ryan is concerned, Blumenthal says that Ryan, along with other GOP party leaders, feel obliged to distance themselves from Trump because the unspoken truth is that the speaker's primary concern is to make sure Republicans hold on to their majority rule within Congress.
He has to guide the Republicans to some sort of respectable showing in November in Congress, or, that's his ass. We're going to see complete incoherence from the Republicans. The party was bound to collapse. I wrote a book about its inevitable collapse in 2009, and we're just seeing it play out like a slow-motion train crash.
But Blumenthal also says that the Trump campaign is in many ways a veil for what Republicans have been really gunning for, which is control of down-the-ballot voting, something that the Koch brothers as well as the American Legislative Exchange Council, or ALEC, have perfected, while progressives and Sanders supporters have not.
How do you build an apparatus that goes beyond just running congressional candidates to actually develop issues and put forward legislation in state houses? I mean, that's what you're talking about with ALEC, the American Legislative Executive Council. And that's really another problem progressives face is campaign finance makes it much easier for billionaires like the Koch brothers and also, the hedge funders who are funding the super PAC supporting Hillary Clinton to take the legislative initiative. I think what we're going to see, I think the larger success of the Sanders campaign has been on the issues. Issues like minimum wage, he put that on the table. Issues like free trade, he forced Hillary Clinton to retreat on that. And there's no, there's no way she can come out and embrace TPP or Keystone XL. And then there's the issue of Palestine, which is something I'm heavily involved in. And we're going to see a fight over that at the Democratic National Convention. I think one thing that progressives can do is prepare for that fight in Philadelphia and really exploit the issues that are polarized between the establishment wing of the party and the progressive wing, which is really where the Democrats' base is and where its future is.
With Clinton being declared the Democratic presumptive nominee on Monday and reinforcing that status on Tuesday with wins in New Jersey, Mexico, and delegate-rich California, the question for Sanders supporters is, can their progressive causes translate not only into July's convention, but into municipal, state, and congressional races as well? For The Real News, Thomas Hedges, Washington.